Hello, I'm in the music room again, as it were. Um, you may hear noise, and in these situations, I wish we had Michael Douglas around, but hey ho. The topic of today, and I like doing these little videos, is why did I stop doing music so much? What was it that motivated me to take a break from performing live, going to open mic nights, really putting additional effort into producing more music, like performing poetry as well. Like, why did I stop public performances? Um, People know some things about me. I think my very good friends know everything I'm doing. Some people probably only know one thing I'm doing. So, some people know me as a poet and a musician. Some people know me as just an IT guy. People know me from work. Some people at work know I also do art stuff. And some people don't know my real name, but know me online as Warp. Um, I do lots of stuff. In total, in combination, everything I do, I work in the software industry. I'm now 37 years old, so as you can imagine, I'm pretty high up in the software industry because if you have ambition, then you work very hard, you get there, you get to that point. So I've managed a lot of people. I've done a lot of stuff at a high level. There's a lot of work to do. So it's very demanding work. Not like physically demanding, like construction, but in terms of time and stress, it's extremely demanding, and that pays the bills and affords me all the things that I want in life and the people around me need, and so on, so I can support family and so on, and earn some money. In addition to that, I created a nonprofit a couple years ago. It's a 501c3 registered entity. It's all properly done through the IRS and everything. I paid an attorney. I did all the proper measures, and that wraps around open source project and my ambitions on my dense analysis website to build educational materials for people, and that will gradually go in future. I've always said about it, it might not be too impressive to start, but it'll make sense later. That's just to help people. It's only costed me thousands of pounds to do. It's only ever going to cost me money. It'll never make any money. That's the whole point of the organization. It's my representation of my charitable outreach. The bulk of my charity goes into my own entity, and that then helps people. That's good. Um, I'm trying to get married. That's been the main thing I've been doing for the past year or so. There's a lot of work. Planning a wedding just takes a very long time, and it's excruciatingly difficult. If you've never planned a wedding, everything is harder than it should be. There's lots of reasons why that is. Things don't have to be as hard as they are, but they are that hard, and you just have to put a lot of hours into it, and it's very stressful. And there's a lot of arguments that stem from it. It's like, it's not an easy process. It should be easier, planning a ceremony and all this stuff, and getting people together, and doing more than just going to a register office and signing a piece of paper, which you can do. You can just go to an office and go tick. But practically speaking, if you're not married, you might think you can do that, but nobody in a relationship wants to just go to an office and sign a piece of paper. You want to have a party. So that takes a lot of work. So that's that as well. So in combination, you got a lot of things going on. And what happened last year was I was going around. We had just finished the EP for Corporate Retreat, which that was very difficult, but we got it done. And I had booked a couple shows for us to do, small numbers in one and a bit better in the other, because we were supporting somebody, Cats on the Moon, who had much bigger following, so obviously they'll come to that, and we tried to do our own thing with independent artists, and very few people came. People had a really good time, and everyone was a good sport about it, and so on. So it was really good, and none of us felt bad about it. It was just really good. We did another thing before the EP. We did the All of a Sudden show with Joe. So 3 shows last year, and so I was, as we ramped up to the 2 shows in June, I was going around promoting the show as I do, and doing open mics and so on. my grassroots promotion of the shows has done the most. I think I've driven the most people to it just by being friends with people and meeting people at things and saying you should come. That's done more for getting people to come to the shows and enjoy the music than like any of the things you think would work. Like radio play is useless. No one listens to the radio. No one reads Facebook. No one really sees anything you put on YouTube. None of that stuff works. The only stuff that works is just meeting people in person and saying, I will come to your show. You have to mutually support each other. Like if you go to somebody's show, they'll go to yours. That's the best way to actually build up a following, FYI. And I've only ever wanted to do it for sure, just for the sake of we want to express ourselves and get people to hear our music. I want people to hear my songs because I have a lot of intentionality behind all the lyrics I write. There's like a lot of meaning in them. I'm very intentional. I'm very deliberate. And there's something I want to get out there. I don't want somebody to hear it. So yeah, I was promoting the shows, and I was getting a bit down in the dumps about it. It's really hard juggling all those things. And I went to an open mic where I was playing some songs and promoting the show. And at the end of my set, I got my watch on me, and my heart rate was shooting up to 120 BPM steadily and above. And I was literally sat on the chair watching other people perform, using like ChatGPT to look like, what's the heart rate where you start to faint? Like, I'm up here. How much further do I have to go for a sustained number of minutes where I'm just going to straight up pass out? And I was like, well, you're not there yet, but you're getting close. I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. Thanks for the information. And I was like, as the Filthy Frank used to say, now known as Joji, it's time to stop. That's the point you go, enough is enough. Like, honestly, if you ever ask me or anybody else, how do you manage all these things? The answer is through neglect. That's the honest answer. You only do something by neglecting all of the other things you're not doing. And it's about priorities. So you have to sit down in your life and go, how much time do I have? What are my priorities in life? And you rank them. I've done this before. I did it again last year. I was like, what are my ranked priorities? As you can imagine, wedding wife-to-be shoots right to the top of those priorities. Day job. We need to pay for the wedding. We need a house to live in. That's got to be number 2 or 1, right? It's in there. So so I got to do the day job. I got to do the wedding. Do I care more about the charity or performing music? And the charity won. And even then I've done very little work for it in the past year because the wedding takes up so much time and the job takes up so much time. So that's why. That's why I stopped performing so much. That's the story. And one thing I will say is, even amidst all of that, last year I changed jobs 2 times out of frustration issues. Had some gaps of time off. And what I ended up doing was, in between the job I'm now in and the last one, I took a week unpaid. I paid for the studio. It cost a pretty penny to do, but I wanted to do it. I have recorded 15 songs. I've got the stems for all the guitar, all the bass, all the vocals. I did this back in September. Got the whole thing, other than like drums and mixing. I'm gonna do electronic drums in the studio because it'll be easy to do and it will sound good once I get it done and I get the right mix on it and stuff. It's all sitting in a zip that I've backed up 1,000,000 times across 1,000,000 services and whatnot, discs. I've got it. I was listening to the stems again last night. I've got a full album for Leonardo Lemuel, just like sitting in waiting. And I've been very busy, but one of these days, any day now, it's been half a year since I recorded that. The recordings are good. You can make a complete album out of those recordings. I heard them again last night. It's all there. Sometime, when I find some time, maybe after the wedding's done or as I get closer and I've planned everything, or I stop working on my open source projects I'm currently working on, or I'm going to find a day or a week or some spare moments, and you're going to hear some good shit. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you.